So what is up, guys? Nick here, helping you to master your technology. iPhone 12 and 12 mini, now that the event is over. Now, I know a lot of you are waiting for the 13 content. Don't worry, I already pre-ordered them. They're coming next week, but we got to be a little bit patient here. They'll be on their way. You know, most people don't have these just yet. We're just doing the pre-order today. And by the way, pre-orders did start today. So let me know if you pre-ordered an iPhone 13 down below in the comment section. But I'm really curious to know your thoughts on these new prices for the iPhone 12 mini and the 12. You can see at $599, you now can get the iPhone 12 for the same price. Well, actually, this is $699 for the 12. You can get the 12 for the same price as the 13 mini, which starts at the same price. So you can get the bigger phone for the price of the 13 mini. This is the 12 mini here, and the 12 mini comes down $599. Now, these phones are so similar to the iPhone 13. I'm wondering, why did Apple keep these around? And I think it's because this was such a volume seller here for the iPhone 12. And then for the iPhone 12 mini, this one probably didn't sell so well, so they got to clear out the stock for this phone by reducing the price point. These are still amazing phones, and with that, we're going to begin by talking about the build and the body. What really will change if you decide to get this instead of the 13? Save some money, and the notch is a little bit wider. It's definitely wider up here, so that'll be different. But there are some images online that are showing that the notch is a little bit, a little bit longer this way, so just a hair different, but it should still feel like a nice change. Now, the back is where these phones don't really change much to the iPhone 13. If we take a look at this iPhone 13 here on the website, you'll see that it is, a diagonal camera. So Apple always does these little tweaks to make sure people know you got the latest phone. And with this one, people are going to know that's not the 13, that's the 12, simply because of the camera. It's very genius marketing right there, because think about it. If somebody sees that, they know it's a 13. If they see this, they know it's a 12. And that's one of the things they thought of to do, to just make sure that you're on the latest version, definitely. Now, the red also looks a little bit different for the 13, the product red. So if you are picking up the iPhone 13 mini or 13, it looks like it's a deeper red. Some people didn't think this was a true red, so Apple corrected that. It definitely looks like a deeper red right there. But I gotta say, the bodies, they're gonna feel about the same. These are actually gonna be a bit lighter, both squared edges. It's still fantastic, but for $100, do you want those extra things? Let me know down below. Now, when it comes to displays, the iPhone 13 series will get brighter than these 12s, but the 12 now still retains such a beautiful display. It's OLED. I actually never had any issues with this panel. I was never craving more brightness for this Apple iPhone 12 right here. So if you are looking for, an amazing display here, this was when Apple decided to go to OLED over the iPhone 11 and the iPhone XR. So it was a major update to the iPhone. If you pick up the iPhone 12 here, you're going to be very happy with the color saturation, the overall brightness, accuracy. It's a beautiful panel. And the same is true for the iPhone 12 mini. This thing also has a beautiful panel, beautiful colors, and it's very compact and easy to hold. So definitely, I would say when it comes to display, they might have got a little bit brighter, but it's probably not worth that extra $100. You might as well just go with these ones if that's what you care about. Now, when it comes to the software, again, either way you go, Apple's going to give you the iOS 15 is actually coming next Monday. You're going to get basically the same software on the new phones as these. You'll have the cinematic video. Again, every year they put a little slight tweak to the camera in there, but you're getting the same software here for years to come on the 12 series. So software will be basically no different. So again, another reason to save the money and pick up the iPhone 12 or 12 mini. Now, when it comes to performance, Apple did tout how the A15 is a good amount faster. We're gonna have to put that to the test here, because the A14 was just blowing the doors off of everything I pretty much threw at it, especially in the benchmarks. In the real world, the 120 hertz Android phones were kind of smoking it in, animation speed and stuff like that, because these do have 60 hertz displays. But keep in mind, the newer ones, you notice I didn't mention ProMotion, because the newer iPhones didn't get ProMotion. Another reason to consider saving the money and picking up one of these. They also don't have ProMotion, but neither do the new ones. Again, back to performance though, 4 gigs of RAM on these guys, and the newer phones similar. So essentially you're getting essentially the same performance in the day-to-day. Yeah, you have an A15, you'll be able to tout you have a few percentage of specification points better than the 12 series, but I gotta tell you, like the average person is really gonna notice. I haven't even been able to make my iPhones choke since like the 8 Plus days, so I don't think many mainstream consumer, anybody's gonna really notice a difference there. So performance still slick and smooth on the 12 and 12 mini, no thing to worry about whatsoever. Now when it comes to the battery life, that's where these phones, you might want to consider the 13s. If you care a ton about battery life, like you really need it to be really long, go with the iPhone 13, because this one supposedly got updated by 2.5 hours. This guy, 1.5. I'm going to consider putting that to the test here on the channel by doing a battery drain test against those. But let me know if you want to see that below. But yeah, that's pretty big numbers. 2.5 hours is a huge difference, especially from the 12 to the 13, getting through a lot longer of the day. Because think about it, it's like that 1 to 2 hours when you're on your way home, you're running out of battery or something. Maybe you just need a charger and you don't have it at that time. That 1 to 2 hours buys you that time to get to that charger. Over here for the iPhone 12, that phone will be gone. But 1.5 hours again on the 12 mini. This was one of the worst battery life iPhones in a while, so maybe it'll bring the iPhone 12 mini to at least an acceptable level here. Battery life, major reason to consider the newer 13s over these 12 and 12 minis right now. Now when it comes to the cameras, I would wager that these cameras right here on the 12 and 12 mini are not going to be that much different than the iPhone 13s. Again, you might be able to slightly tell a difference if you look closer at the details. You know, every phone gets slightly better. It's going to be most of that cinematic video that's going to be the game changer. They didn't improve zoom too much. Didn't even talk much about that. Cameras on both of these are still incredible, and I've always loved the 12 mini for being such a small, let me get the Rubik's Cube in over here, for being such a small pocketable camera to go ahead and just take a photo. It's just really enjoyable and portable for the mini series to go ahead and do this, having that much camera power in such a tiny size. But I mean, look at the detail. Do you really think you're going to notice a major difference? Again, if you're in the pro video, you might want to consider the newer iPhone 13 series, or you can still get pro video, I do it with the quotations, done on these as well. 4K 60 on the front. These are still amazing cameras. I'm still very happy, man. A whole year later, these phones still feel like they're brand new. iPhone 12 and 12 mini. So don't sleep on these. Even though the 13 definitely is the new kid on the block, still in your eye, this one definitely, these are still nice phones. Storage between both of these devices, they did increase the storage. They got rid of the 64 gig. This was a 64 gig, and you could see I already used half of it. I actually deleted some stuff because it was getting quite full. And this one right here also started at 64 gig with the iPhone 12 mini. So definitely a win to go to the Apple iPhone 13 when it comes to the storage, because if we go here to the 12, you'll see that they do start at about 64 gigs. So 12 mini, we'll do purple, 64 gigs right there. And they also have a 512 gig option. So if you do want to go to 512 gig on the 13, you can do that. And keep in mind, the 512 gig iPhone 13 is around the price of the starting price of the iPhone 13 Pro Max. So you can get 512 gigs for the same price as a 128 gig Pro Max. Keep that in mind. That's a great storage value if you can skip out, or you know, just forget about the Pro Max series. One of the major updates that made its way to the iPhone 12 and 12 mini was improvements with Qualcomm in phone call quality, and also 5G mostly. That 5G will mostly be for Qualcomm, but having just the Intel modems in the prior iPhones definitely made these so much better at reception, so much better at mobile performance. These were the game changers right here. I feel like people are really wanting a redesign again for the next iPhone, the 14. Yeah, we're already talking 14. The 13s aren't even here yet because we know this is not a major redesign year. We know this is an S-like year for Apple. So this was the game changer, the 12s with the 5G, and they're going to hold on strong easily throughout the year. So it's still a decent pickup to get the 12s in that respect. In conclusion, let's bring it all together. Should you buy the iPhone 12 and 12 mini right now? Who is this particular buyer that I believe these are for? Well, I think the perfect buyer for these phones right now is, one, either they have colors you like on the 12s and you're just like, I don't like those colors on the iPhone 13. Or number two, you're like, I just want something newer, fresher, and I'm okay with sticking with the 12. I don't care about that diagonal camera. I don't care about those extra little slight tweaks. These phones are basically the same. I'll keep my $100. You know, I'll go get a fancy dinner. I'll go put that into savings. I'll go do something else with that extra 100, 150 with tax bucks that I'm going to save by getting these perfect phones right here, and you'll be happy for the whole year. They're going to get iOS 15. They're going to feel virtually similar. This really reminds me of iPhone 5, iPhone 5S, iPhone 12, iPhone 13, if you feel me. All right, guys, thank you very much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. Let me know your thoughts on 12 and 12 mini. Is this something you're picking up this year? Or you're like, Nick, bro, no, I'm picking up the 13, but I want to see the videos first. Stay tuned. They're coming next Friday. I'll catch you on the next one. Be sure to be well. Nick here, and peace.